About the A-State community. Each week, we'll meet with a variety of faculty, staff, and students to discuss all things Arkansas State University. Live from the ASU-TV studios in the School of Media and Journalism, this is A-State Connections. This is A-State Connections on KASU and ASU-TV. You can also listen by searching for Red Wolf Radio on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast. I'm Johnathan Reeves, Academic Advisor for the School of Media and Journalism and the Department of Communication at Arkansas State. Today we're getting an update on what's taking place at the Fowler Center on the campus of Arkansas State University. And joining me today is my friend, Director of the Fowler Center, Dallas Martinez. Thanks for joining us again. Appreciate you, bud.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us, for people who may not know who you are, tell us who you are and how you came to Arkansas State.
I have so many titles. I don't know where to begin. Well, I'm currently the director of the Fowler, co-chair of theater. I am the artistic producing director of theater, and I am the assistant professor of musical direction here at Arkansas State. I have been in New Mexico for the past 15 years in the Eastern New Mexico system, and now I'm in the great state of Arkansas.
Very good. So things are taking place at the Fowler Center. You've got a lot of events that are going on. Kind of give us an update on what's been going on there at the Fowler Center.
We've been very busy over the Fowler. So over the year, my team and I have been trying to reshape and rebrand what the Fowler Center is. And so Fowler Center has been known as one of the places to focus mostly on classical music, and I'm more of a generational entertainment person. So that's what we've been trying to bring to the center. We've had just a little bit of everything for everybody up to this point, and we just had the United States Air Force Band that was here, which was a complete full house, an amazing performance that they had. Then the week after, we had Brittany Kellogg come in, who is an up-and-coming country music star, who's going to just go far, and so everybody that got to see that show was in for a wonderful show.
Right.
But this December 1st, we're having the Animaniacs. They're coming in from the cartoon show, the Animaniacs. They're all going to be here live in concert doing, telling us about the industry, as well as doing a lot of stuff in the songs from the show, and it's a great time. If you've been a fan of that show or that cartoon, they will be here in Jonesboro on December 1st.
That is really cool to be able to bring in so many, and that's just a little bit, a taste of all of the things that are going on at the Fowler Center and coming up.
And the things we have planned.
Soon.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff that's going on. So for people who maybe it's been a while since they've been in the Fowler Center, tell us about the Fowler Center and why it is a great place to be able to see performances.
The Fowler Center, our goal for the Fowler Center is to make it the premier entertainment hub of Arkansas State. And I mean that across all facets. We have, in the Fowler, we have on one side, we have the theater and the theater program, we do 4 shows a year. On the other side, we have the Fowler Center's series, as well as Riceland. And that is utilized by the music department. They've had the Singing Statesmen in there, which they've done very well. We've had the string ensemble, so if you're into that music, that is available. And we are bringing in multi-platinum artist guests, hopefully every other month as we're moving forward on the other side. And then in the front of the Fowler, we have BAM. We have the Bradbury Museum of Art, who we are also working with to bring more visual art into that space, so that ultimately, when you think of performance and artistry, you will hopefully think of the Fowler Center.
Why is this all important to be able to have here, by way of the different parts of the art and how it ties back into the community?
Because art is the community. Art does not exist in a vacuum in any way. It speaks about our time, particularly through music or visual art. It gives voices to people that does not regularly have a voice, depending on their power structure. It's a part of our history, and it marks our history. I like to argue with a lot of our historians, but a lot of the history that we know of is because of the art that was produced. We dug something up. We found it.
Sure.
We researched it, found about this general, this battle, this village that occurred, and it's sort of our stamp as humanity, saying that we were here at this moment, and we celebrate through entertainment. I don't know any person in anywhere in my life or in the surrounding areas that does not have some form of entertainment that encompasses their day. So we use it to escape. We use it to ratify our choices. We use it to feel, to empathize with others. We use it for catharsis, just to purge our emotions and fears. And that all comes through all facets of art. And the Fowler Center is trying to bring all of that into one area. So it doesn't matter what walk of life you have, you can find it there.
So I want to ask you about you, and what was it that sparked your passion for the arts or those things?
My mama.
Yeah. Well,
I think it always starts there.
yeah, of course.
I'm an Army brat, and I grew up everywhere. And I remember my mother was the one that decided that, he likes art. He likes performance. He likes music. He likes drawing. And so there was not just a facilitator in my life to see that I had an interest, but also to give me those crayons, to give me the brushes, to give me a guitar, to take me to a show. But later in life, it was about exposure, because I grew up in places that there was just maybe 700 people in that town. And it was my mother and my father that decided that if I have an interest in it, that they would expose me to that. So they're the ones that took me to concerts. They're the ones that took me to shows or productions. They're the ones that took me to museums. And it was out of that exposure that my love grew for all of those art forms. And in doing so, that I am now in a position to be able to be an educator as well as an artist myself and pass that on to the next generation.
yeah, and that's the thing I've seen is that you enjoy interacting with students, and I know that you really whenever students say, well, I have this interest possibly in going into theater, I'm not really sure what I want to do, your response has always been, well, just come on. Join the cool kids. We want to make sure that everyone is involved in this, right?
I think every department and everything the students do are the cool kids. You're cool where you feel like you belong.
Yeah.
Theater is the last of the great group projects. We come together from different backgrounds and we have to produce a final product of some sort. So we're a 100% inclusive club. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter if you feel as though you don't belong. We will find a place for you. I work with some amazing educators that have found very unique ways with students that have some form of disability and told that they could not participate in something. We find ways for them to participate because it's really about the student's drive. It's about what their interests are. And we're not here to tell the student what they should do. We're here to facilitate their growth. And so, it's about their success, not about our success. So in theater, we feel like we have an open venue to help them discover what that is, even to the point where they say, I don't think I want to do theater anymore. We're like, that's great. What do you want to do? And how can we help you?
Yeah, then they come over to creative media production.
Right.
They do something like that.
Right.
So I know there have been some times when we've been here and we've been battling over students. No, come over here and be with us. No, go over there to the,
Right,
and
right.
that. But that's one of those things that, even for those people who may not want to major in it, I know they can still get involved. And I mean, it's open for anybody.
It really is open for anybody. Students, the productions are free to students anyway, so you can come see a show here at A-State if you're a student for free. You can audition for any of our productions, and we're opening up our auditions for community members as well, because there's certain things that the community has that we don't have within our department that we would like for them to come and explore, and possibly they might think this is really neat. We don't teach a hobby. We teach a hireable, desirable skill that many of our students are being hired and working in. And we think that that's something that we should share with the community and show that this is really happening.
Yeah, and that there's a drive, there's a hunger for this.
Yeah.
All over the place.
Well, you know that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
To be able to do that, and that's where the arts are where it's at, to be able to be involved. And there is that natural merging between media, arts, and those areas that just make it all that much better. So I want to talk about some of the things that are coming up. I have this, and this is going to be really cool. Noises Off is taking place. Tell us about Noises Off.
Noises Off, it's a comedy. So if you want to laugh, you've just got to come see this comedy, for one. It's basically a farce based in the farce tradition. And what does that mean? Well, a farce has certain elements in it to make it funny. One, there's a lot of doors slamming. So you have to go up and down a whole bunch of doors. There's physical comedy. comedy, there's body comedy, there's innuendos. It's just one of the things that came out of the French Restoration for the farce, and this is one of those sort of modern farces that came out of the 1980s, 1990s, and it's just simple hilarity throughout. So the crux of the show is that we, as an audience member, are watching the last rehearsal of a production called Nothing On. And they're trying to get through it, and it's a ragtag group of people just trying to get the work done. But then out of that, you see the same show again as they have traveled, but this time the entire stage that you were just watching is now flipped around backwards. So you get to see all of the antics that's happening, the insanity that's happening backstage while they still perform that show upstage through the set. And then the third act happens, and in that third act you find that they're on their last leg of their tour, and they just don't...
They don't care.
The backstage and the front stage all muddled together, and it's people falling downstairs and pants falling down, and it's just... we had about 15 people come to do crew watch the other night, and the audience that we had was out of breath watching what is happening on stage because the actors are doing so much and it's so fast that you're just giggling, laughing. You might have to see it more than once. I'm just saying. You might have to see it more than once.
And you've got it for 4 performances.
We do. We have it for 4 performances. Our fall production really kind of butts up close to the fall break, so we try to fit in what we can, knowing that there's going to be a bigger break coming. So there are 4 instances that you are able to attend this production. And we would really like to have full houses every night. Who wouldn't? But we would really like to have a nice audience for this because the set is ginormous. Jeff McLaughlin, who's our set designer, has built a massive set that moves, and it's just insane how it all happens.
Wow. And putting it all together and being able to see that's going to be fantastic. So it's going to be on November the 10th and the 11th, which is coming up on a Friday and Saturday night.
Next week.
And the week after on the 17th and 18th, and they all start at 7:30 in the Drama Theater.
In the Drama Theater, tickets are on sale now. If you are a student, you could just go to go out to tickets through the T that's on our little search thing, and
Sure.
you can get a free ticket. If you're a community member, it's ASU/tickets. You can go out there and get a ticket through Ticketmaster. And I would say get them now because I really believe that the hilarity of this show, we're going to have really great audiences. So definitely get your tickets as soon as possible.
And that's called Noises Off.
Yes.
That's where that's going to be.
Noises Off. It's based, I don't know, there was a movie that was from the 80s that they did the play, and then they made the movie. And in the movie was Carol Burnett.
Oh, wow.
You can't beat that.
You can't
Michael
beat that
Caine, Christopher Reeve, believe it or not, was in a comedy. And, Three's Company. Who was the actor from Three's Company? Is anybody yelling it?
Yeah.
I remember. I'll yell it out.
I know what you're talking about.
But it's an
anyway,
all-star cast of it's just hilarious and funny. And we really can't stress how much work the students have put into this, that it would just be wonderful to have so many people come out and just laugh with them.
Fantastic. Dallas Martinez is the director of the Fowler Center, Arkansas State University. He joins me today for A-State Connections. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about other things that are going on at the Fowler Center right after this.
When you say experience counts, it's experience that counts for a lifetime.
Boxes, I cannot fit in the boxes. Stop it, quitting was never an option. Exhausted, this passion is never exhausted. And you cannot stop it, nah, you cannot stop it. Quitting was never an option. And you cannot stop it, nah, you cannot stop it.
Red Wolf Radio is a student-led organization at Arkansas State University wanting to hear your takes on pop culture, music, the news, and college life. Just about anything you can think of. Located in the Education and Communications building on campus, we are always looking for more volunteers. So if you're an Arkansas State University student, no matter the major, and this is something that interests you, shoot us an email at redwolfradio@astate.edu. That's redwolfradio@astate.edu. Let them hear you howl.
At Arkansas State, we want you to go. Go where learning soars, takes flight, and rockets ahead. Go for experiences, internships, and scholarships. We want you to go. Become A-State Maine. Are you ready to go? Go.astate.edu for details.
Live from the ASU-TV studios in the School of Media and Journalism, this is A-State Connections. All right, welcome back to A-State Connections on KASU and ASU-TV. We're continuing the conversation about what's going on at the Fowler Center at Arkansas State University. Director of the Fowler Center, Dallas Martinez,
You nailed it.
joins me. So that is appropriate there.
Another title. Just throw it on there. I have no problem.
Floor director was like, what? Where was that on there?
Janitor.
Anyway, yeah. Jack of all trades, master of
All trades.
Of all trades, exactly. So let's talk about the spring semester that's going to be coming up. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff there at the Fowler Center too.
Yes. So in the spring is one of our busy times. So in the spring for the theater side, we're having our spring musical, Bright Star, that was written by Steve Martin. He's done some things.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a thing or two.
Bright Star is interesting, and one of the reasons that we were happy that the students helped pick this musical was that it's a unique musical because it's a bluegrass musical. You don't really hear that sort of tone when it comes to musicals, so it's very Arkansas, if you will.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And it's a great story, and it's just simply lovely. So we have Bright Star, and then our second play that will be in April is The Revolutionists, and it's about women who have helped in massive revolutions across history, and they all have one story that they come together. So it's witty, it's funny, it's poignant. It's going to be a fantastic show. So those are the two shows that are happening in the spring that we're super excited about. And then on the Fowler side, like I said, December, we have the Animaniacs coming in. And then January 26th, we have Craig Campbell. Craig Campbell is going to be another country artist that will be here. And that is really a show not to be missed. Up and coming, has played with just about everybody. And Craig is sort of in this sort of bubble where he's opened up for everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
He's played all the gigs, and now he's striking out on his own. And it's just one of those opportunities, much like Brittany Kellogg that was here, that they're on their way up. And it's one of those moments you can come out to the Fowler Center and see this artist before you can't afford a ticket to see the artist later.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And then we have some other contracts that are a little hush-hush right now, so I can't really say anything that's coming in. We also have the music side of things for the music department has their annual concerts that will be performing throughout the semester. You can always find stuff on the music webpage. They update that regularly, particularly for their wind ensembles, their classic concert pianists or concertos that they may have coming in.
Sure.
I believe we also have the opera doing a performance in the spring that's going to be happening over there.
Okay.
And then BAM has, I think throughout the whole semester, 3 new exhibits that are coming in. So we are gearing up.
Just busy
on all sides.
Yeah, I think the Small Prince National Exhibition, I guess, is coming back in again on the BAM side. So that'll be really, really cool with the Small Prince and that. So that's going to be fantastic because that's one of the things too. It's not just regional, but you're bringing in acts that are nationally known and you're doing a fantastic job. And Fowler Center is really really striving hard, I know, to be able to reach out to the community and make the community a better place to be able to be with all the work that you all are doing there.
We're about the community.
Yeah.
It's really, well, who do we do this for?
Right.
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 And so I've spent the year my first year here is my second year trying to just go out and talk to people and go, well, what do you want to see? What do you like? What is
Sure.
What hasn't been here? What do you want to come back? And I take all recommendations, and then I reach out to their agents and I find out if they're available, if they're touring this way, if we can afford them, little things like that.
Right.
And then we get some people that are just, like, you should get Taylor Swift. Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
That's a good suggestion.
I'm on it.
Probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
But,
I sent an email.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. So for the Swifties out there, we're working on it. We're trying.
An email has been sent?
Yeah, there you go. So it sounds good. So let me talk about recruitment, because obviously that's one thing that you all, and we talked a little bit about this earlier, but
Yeah.
but recruitment of future students into the Department of Theater, talk about that and the work that you all are doing. And I imagine that goes also into like high schools and all of that too, probably.
It does. I mean, all of our students at A-State, they started somewhere and they made a decision at some point to come here. And I'm sure as you talk to your students, that decision is a fascinating thing. Like, why did you come here?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just, well, my parents lived here. And other times it's like, well, I have friends that go there. And then there's those that, oh, I came there because of this particular program or because of this particular professor. Those are great stories to have. We recruit year round. We're always looking for anyone that is interested in working on stage and backstage of our theater programs. We participate with the Arkansas Thespian Festival. In fact, we're hosting it this year. It'll be on campus, and that's somewhere around 1,300 to 1,400 students from all around Arkansas that are thinking about and wanting to perform in some fashion. And the number one question that we always get, particularly about coming to school here, is like, well, what are you going to do with it? Like, what are you going to do with the degree? And what is the field out there? And that's great questions right now, simply because, due to COVID, I get to tell them, like, well, there's only two industries that did not suffer over COVID, and entertainment was one of them.
Yeah.
Right now, for our students, one of our things that we like to tell our students is that our students, we want them working in theater. So we don't just say, hey, come and do a show here. We want you to actually get to be paid. So we work with our students to have summer jobs, real summer jobs in regional theaters all over the United States. And we started that last year, and 30% of our majors was actually working over the summer in theater, not retail, not flipping burgers, doing the thing that they love to do, and they're coming back. And what's crazy is one of the other statistics my colleague said is that 30% of the students were working, and out of that 30%, all of them that went for a job got a job. 100% of the people who went out got a job, because the industry is back. It's rebranding, it's rebuilding, it's coming back, and they need people on stage, they need people backstage. But then I get the questions like, well, I'm not really interested in being on stage or backstage. I really like film. I really enjoy, I want to be a movie star. Well, I teach right now acting on film. Many of my past students, they don't live in Hollywood because they don't really shoot in Hollywood anymore. They're down in Atlanta. So we introduce them to all of our contacts in Atlanta, the ones that are with Amazon Prime and Netflix and Disney Plus and Hulu, because those are the ones that you're getting cast. Back when I was starting out, you would go out and you would just get a job on a show. Like, you're an extra on a show and you get paid, right?
Yeah.
And now you're getting paid for 13 episodes because everybody binge watches these series. So so there's my students that are fresh out of school going down. They're getting shipped off to Montreal where they're shooting, or down in Atlanta. Two of them are on some sort of Marvel thing they can't tell me about, no matter how much I beg,
Right.
just to know.
Right.
Many of my students are currently traveling through the Orpheum right now. In fact, I have a student in every show that's coming to the Orpheum in Memphis, and it's just product. It's just proof that these jobs are there and that they're working. So and we lead you to those jobs. We don't just go, hey, good luck out there. So that's one of our recruitment tools, is to say this is a actual thing you can do.
Yeah, and that's one of the things about, kind of the behind the scenes part, you because so much focus a lot of times is on the set, what you see, people who are there. But like for this show here, this show wouldn't happen without the students that are behind the scenes right now, running the cameras and doing all that stuff. They're in the back. They're doing a great job there. So with that, wanted to ask about, kind of the behind-the-scenes stuff. I mean, you've got people running sound.
Yep.
You've got people doing the lights. You've got all these other things, and of course, you'll probably see a little bit of that in Noises Off that's coming up.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are those kinds of opportunities behind the scenes which make the front of the house work.
Absolutely. We call that the production side. So there's performance and there's production. Performance is you're performing. Production is you're making sure the performance can happen. And all of our students, they do that. From day one when they get here, we train them. If they've never had any training of what that is, we make sure that they're trained. We believe that a well-rounded theater artist is a hireable theater artist. So many of our students, they want to either do carpentry, they can build sets, they want to learn about being an LD, a lighting design, so we show them all the really neat, amazing technological things, and we train them how to use those. Some of them want to do sound design, and we have all of the neat technological things, and we show them how to do that. Others want to be able to call us shows. So our students are our stage managers. Our students are our backstage help. Our students are the ones that build. They have as much ownership of a show as we do, the faculty that are trying to put it on. So, and I think if you have ownership, you have agency, right? And that gives them more ideas of what they want to try next. If they did, like, oh, I saw my friend doing lighting design, I want to do that. So we're like, well, how do we get you in there? Let's do that. We try to make sure that we have the most up-to-date materials so that when the student leaves here, it's not alien to them. They're right. This is what we do in the industry, so they go into it. I think we have the best facilities in the state because of our size of our proscenium and Riceland, as well as our acoustics. So the students get a lot here and a lot more to put on their resumes later on, and a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Absolutely. It sounds fantastic. So even from makeup, costume design, directing, acting, as you said, sound, lights, all of it. People get
front of house.
Front of the house. Yeah. That's right. So once again, really quickly, because we're about to run out of time here, want to remind people about Noises Off, which is coming up that will be on November the 10th and 11th, which is next Friday and Saturday.
That's right.
And also the following after that, that'll be the 17th and the 18th. Once again, that's Noises Off. And people can get tickets, once again, through Ticketmaster.
Through Ticketmaster, right? Yes. A-State /tickets. You can go get those or call Ticketmaster. Get your tickets now. It's a phenomenal show.
Very
Just
good.
absolutely phenomenal.
My friend, thank you for coming by again. Appreciate you as always.
Yeah.
And that'll do it for this edition of A-State Connections. I want to thank Dallas Martinez for joining me here today. I also want to thank instructor of creative media production, Galen Perkins, and his amazing students. They're awesome. They're behind the scenes running the show, as always. Thanks to engineers Clayton Holderfield and Jacob Keene for their help. And as always, thank you for watching. We'll be back here next Wednesday at 1:30 for another edition of A-State Connections. And as always, you can listen to this episode of A-State Connections by searching for Red Wolf Radio Podcast on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast. So long, everyone.